It's great having it. I've been married for 7 years, and so now we just have a 1-year-old daughter. So it's getting pretty serious, and this is way over the edge. We were living in New York when my daughter was to be born, but I'm from Tennessee, so we flew home and my daughter was born in Tennessee. I didn't want her to be born in New York. Like, I don't need her growing up thinking she's baby. So I was like, you start where we start, all right? That. It was wild. Does anybody have kids here? Or a couple? One? The rest is like when this city dies. All right. Yeah. It's wild. I remember on the way to the hospital, I told my wife, I was like, look, I don't want to see anything, all right? It's going to be gross. I wish it was like the 50s when they didn't even let men in the hospital. But it's not. Now, do you want to deliver the baby? We'll do most of it. They just pull the baby out, and then they just tell you, here, cut the umbilical cord. They just tell you to do it, real fast. I didn't take a class. They just act like I'm the guy that cuts umbilical cords at the hospital. I almost cut the wrong part, and they were like, that's not... I was like, oh, maybe, you should... You did go to doctor school for this. I'm doing minor surgery right now. Then they just hand you your baby, and they're like, all right, we'll see ya. And that's when you're like, I'd really like your help now. This is... I need you to live with me or something like that. The first question I asked, they should have probably kept... I was like, how much do you feed it? That'd be a lot. I was buying a hamster at a pet store. The big thing they tell you, the thing they say, they're really big on they're like, whatever you do, let's just try not to shake this baby. That's the number one goal. And they tell it to you, they're almost obviously you're going to want to shake baby, but it would be so awesome if you just did not shake this baby. That would be... And then they get a video of a guy that's like, here's what I do instead of my baby. I take walks, for instance. I walk 70 miles or something. I walk a lot. Then I signed a certificate I was in kindergarten that said, all right, I promise, I swear to God, I won't shake the baby. Asking me about this. I've never heard the word shake so much in my entire life. That's all it's about. And the first night home, she was like, you're delirious, you're just confused and tired, and and she's crying for 6 hours. And I was sitting there, I was like, wait, are we supposed to shake this baby? When we do it, this seems like when you would do it. But we didn't shake her, so cool. We have rocked aggressively, but she had to go, went to the doctor to get, when she was 9 months old, you have to do a 9-month-old checkup. So we go to the doctor, and she has to get a shot. And it's the worst when babies get shots, because they don't know what's going on. She's just looking it up, this day's going unbelievable. What could go wrong, What could go wrong? Why would anything go wrong? And then you're looking at her it's about to go wrong. You don't even sort of think how wrong it's going to be. So she gets the shot, so we go to her, because we're going to hold her and console her. But she doesn't. She's just fine with the shot. And, we're just sitting there, the doctor's surprised. My wife's I was like, maybe. We should also see if she's going to be when they get a shot. Maybe that's what we should look into. That make you nervous? I would cry if you gave me a shot. Pretty fine with pain at 9 months old. In 20 years, I'm either going to be telling her, look, we love you so much, and we're happy that you've accomplished everything. Or I will be on the news going, we love it, but you need to turn yourself in right now. Just do the right. So I was born in 1979. And the reason I say that, because if you are my age or just right around my age, very maybe 78 to 80, you might realize, or maybe you don't know, I've never been called a millennial or Generation X. I've never even really heard any of those terms growing up. And now you hear them all the time. So I looked it up to try to see, I was like, what am I? And I'm technically nothing. I'm on a cusp. I'm a generation gap. And what we are called, Zennials, or we're called the Oregon Trail generation, or we are called, my favorite name is the Lucky Ones. And it's true, we're very lucky. We actually grew up in two different worlds. When I was a kid, I grew up like it was the 50s. You would go out and your parents just didn't know where you were. We went to school and played Oregon Trail on a computer at school. No one had a computer at home. It's what are you, a zillionaire? You could.
But then in high school, I had AOL. You know, we had a computer at home. Then I got a beeper. And then I got a cell phone. I didn't have social media until I was 26 with MySpace. You know, I mean, social media, like, whatever I did in high school is a rumor. It can't ruin my life. So if you're around my age, you might realize, like, you just end up always kind of being in the middle. Like, I understand when a Gen Xer says something, you're like, I get it. And millennial says something, you're like, no, I get it. You always just feel in the middle. And these groups all hate each other. And the most I've ever felt where I was in the middle was just this one hotel that I stayed at. So a lot of hotels now, they have Chromecast, and you can watch like Netflix in your hotel room. So I'm watching, I get in my room, and I turn it on, and my Chromecast is not working. So I call down to the front desk, and the oldest voice I ever heard answered the phone. This guy was a Civil War survivor. I mean, he was the age where you just go, thank you for your service. And it's like, I was in the Army, you're like, probably, man. I mean, there's an age where like they all had to go at that age, so just say it. So I tell him, I go, hey, my Chromecast is not working. And I could have just made up a word. I mean, he's never heard of that. I could have said, bop broke. I mean, he asked if I was staying at that hotel. That's how, he goes, are you staying here? I was like, do you think I've called the front desk from a different hotel room? So he goes, look, I don't know what this is, but there's a younger guy here. Send him up. He'll be able to help you. And I was like, great. So that guy comes up. And he knocks on my door. I open it. He's my dad's age. And I mean, right when I see him, you're like, all right, dude, we don't have to do this. You know, I mean, I know you've heard of it, but you're not, if I can't fix it, you're not going to be able to fix it. But he's the generation that still wants to give it a try. So I got to let him in. So he comes in my room, sits on my bed, a little too far back, I thought. I just remember like the back of his calves were touching the bed, and I was like, are your feet dangling? How far back are you going to go? Are you cold? Do you want some covers, man? He gets the remote and just starts pressing all the buttons, and I said, I don't know how to do it. And he goes, let's just keep trying it, though. I go, all right. I'm going to turn the shower on, open a window, let's try everything. You know, let's just see, maybe it turns on. Who knows? Maybe it's all connected. So we can't get it. And he goes, all right. He goes, there's a younger guy. He's about to come to work. At this point, I'm like, I'm the younger guy, man. I was like, it's all right, dude. I don't need it. And he goes, no, it's a millennial. I was like, all right. Now we're getting somewhere, you know? This is what the millennial does. He was born with technology. He's going to fix this. I was excited. I was like, great. He goes, he comes to work in an hour. I go, wonderful. And let me tell you, you know how quick that millennial fixed it? Well, I'll never know because he just didn't come to work that night. So... didn't call in, nothing. And I found out because the old guy called me because he was supposed to fill in for him. He was furious, dude. Like, he hates that millennial. He goes, he never comes to work. He doesn't take it serious. He's got a peanut allergy. And I was like, all right, well. I ended up fixing it myself because it was just unplugged. So that's my fault. We've been traveling. I've been traveling all over the country during this COVID. And scene is, look. In the middle of the country, they're doing good. I went to a NASCAR race. They all had their mask on. They're doing what they're supposed to do. A lot of people are doing it. We're trying, you know? A lot of stuff. We take our temperature. I went to Buffalo Wild Wings. They took my temperature. You gonna tell me that teenager doesn't know what he's doing? Is that what you're trying to... You don't think he's going to doctor school? That's how he gets started, is he takes temperatures, and he's like, all right, 45 degrees, you're good. Yeah, you're like 60 degrees from a problem. So I don't, you know, and they're not even worried about it. They just don't, 57 degrees. You're like, yeah, I'm dead, dude. That's not good. This one guy was like, does that even work? He goes, I don't know. When it beeps, I just tell him to go ahead. I swear one kid said beep. I don't think his beep worked. And he goes, beep. And I was like, was that? And he goes, you're fine. Went to school in Tennessee, which is, I went to a community college for an entire year, and I do not have one credit. It didn't, like, none of it counted. The reason is because I had to take remedial classes, so, which remedial basically means they're like, look, we have no idea how your high school that you leave, and we are shocked, and we're actually going to look into it. But until the end, here's your classes you're going to take. Here's what I took. I took math, like I don't, like the book said math. Like, that's what... How crazy is that? They stopped calling it math after 6th grade. Well, even though I make fun of Common Core, I have learned stuff from elementary homework, which is embarrassing. I'm 41. My daughter's 8. Nothing should ever come out of her mouth that I'm like, what? What was that? When to use a or an in a sentence. I mean, I didn't know that there was a rule in play. I thought you felt it out, you know? You just go, that feels right, and that's what you do. I do the same thing with a comma. I never known where a comma's supposed to go. I feel a comma's coming, I try to get out of that sentence so bad. I mean, and if I can, I just put a comma and see if someone says something, you know? If they're like, is that a comma? I'm like, isn't my comma button has been sticking on my phone. So I'm married. We have a lot of married people here. A few. Some. That's fun. It's fun. I don't know. I've been married 4 years now, and it's getting pretty serious, to tell you the truth. A lot more serious than I thought. I always have, like, I got other buddies that are getting married now, so they always, like, want to come talk to me. So, like, I always tell them, they're like, what's it like? I'm like, here's what it is. I'm just telling everybody. Marriage is like, you ever go to a concert and you see a mosh pit, and you're like, you know what? I'm going to go get in that mosh pit. But then once you get in it, you're like, I do not want to be in this mosh pit at all. I'm going to leave and go get some beer. Then the mosh pit's like, didn't you drink last night? All right, mosh pit, why don't you get off my back and let me live my life? Why?
If you go to Europe, just so you know, it's the most old. It's very old. You think we're old, and you get there, and you're like, good night. What have y'all been doing over here? You just walk around, they're like, that building is from 8. Good golly.
We take her out. We go do stuff. I would take her to Chuck E. Cheese all the time. You can go there. They had COVID in '84. So you can't even survive in there. That's what, I mean, Chuck E. Cheese is rough. I don't know if you've been there in a while. They look like they're trying to go out of business and they can't. They filed bankruptcy and they're still open. They called Blockbuster and they're like, you get out. We want out. They're updating nothing. That Chuck can is just robotic. I mean, the drummer doesn't even turn on. It just sits like that the whole time. They sell booze to parents now. They just give them buckets of Bud Light. They're drunk in a booth at 9 a.m. And someone drives those kids home. I don't see a bunch of Ubers and Lyfts showing up. There was a Chuck E. Cheese that got caught. If people didn't eat all their pizza, they would just put it back out on the buffet. And that would shut down any normal business. And with Chuck E. Cheese, they have thrived. I mean, when I read the story, I was like, I thought that's what they were doing. I thought we agreed that that's fine. I didn't even know what the article was about.
I don't read. Yeah, and I think that matters. Reading is the key to smart, I believe. And I don't do it. I think it's caught up to me. I want to do it. I like the idea of reading. I even buy books. But these books are the most words. And it's every book. You just open it and you're like, what are you talking about? And they don't let up. Every page, just more words. How about you put some blank pages in there? Why don't you let me get my head above water for 2 seconds? We went to Europe last year. Europe's very old. That's what I learned last time in Europe. Like, because you think we're old as a country, and you get there and you're like, good night. You know, how long have y'all been over here? Australia, very far away.
farther than I thought. Our Earth, a little bigger than I thought it was. And I think we should have went the other way as well, but the pilot had different plans. I had jet lag there. I did not mind it because I woke up at 5:45 a.m. and I don't ever wake up that early. So it was like a new life, you know? I was like first in line at the breakfast buffet. Here's what I'll tell you. If you get up at 5:45 a.m., noon is pretty far away, though. I mean, I thought you bet your life, and it's maybe 8:30. Like, 6 p.m., you're like, I don't know how people are out.
How are they doing this?
What are they doing? Why won't the sun go down? This is it. This is, it's something. Thank you guys for coming out. Appreciate it. Very excited. I tried to, I'm always like trying to lose weight, and then like you think, I'll tape a special. That will, that'll do it. And then you just kind of, next thing you know, it's already started. So, I had a thing that happened that I do. It was like, I got to get it together. Like I like to golf, and so I would sometimes bring clubs and I'll golf on the road. And so I was in Florida, and we go golfing. It's very hot, humid, gross. You get kind of feeling gross. So I wanted to change shirts before I drove back, and I go to the trunk of my car, and I take my shirt off, standing there, no shirt. And this old man walks up and goes, Olivia? I had to turn, I was like, I'm sorry. What did you say? I'm sorry. And he was like, oh, sorry, honest mistake. And I was like, I don't know. He was looking for his elderly wife and saw me with no shirt on and thought that could be Olivia. I had a car that he does not recognize. None of this is making him not, he's like, I don't know, that's a dead ringer for Olivia. I don't know who he disrespected more, me or Olivia, to be honest. I mean, we could both have a word with him. So I'm 41 years old, and when I turned 40 was the first age I did not want to turn. I remember my parents turning 40, it just feels old. And it's also the age that you do realize everybody you're talking to, you are older than. Before you're 40, I think everybody you talk to is your age. And the reason when you turn 40, you're just older than that person. I'll just be talking to them like, remember that? It's like 97, 98. They go, I wasn't born yet. You're like, golly, are you serious, dude? In my eyes, we look the same. Where's your dad at? Let me talk to him, because I swear I thought you were my age. Thank you. And also, guys, in all seriousness, I don't know. No, look, the world's, it's getting very advanced, all right? I've been to a dog bakery. I've been to a dog bakery in my life. And this wasn't in, Beverly Hills or like Miami or something. You feel like they would have something like that. And this was in Mount Juliet, Tennessee. And if you don't know where Mount Juliet is, it's fine, but I bet you can tell that doesn't sound like a town you would drive through. I bet they have a pretty good dog bakery here. I went in there, and no one was in there. The lady was looking at me like, are you here to buy this store for me? That was her only hope. I talked to her. She had some time on her hand, excited to talk. And her and her husband bought the store for their 27-year-old daughter, who graduated from college with a degree and came out of college and said, I want to own a dog bakery. I want to make cakes for dogs. If I asked my 6-year-old what she wants to do when she grows up, I think she'll tell me she wants to make cakes for dogs. And I'm going to tell her that she can do whatever she wants to do, hoping she doesn't turn 27 and go, let's talk about those cakes for those dogs. Maybe they're usually busy. Maybe I was on there on a slow dog birthday day. I don't know, all right? She told me everything was organic, and I was like, that's good. That's what I like to hear. All right, this is for that dog that's outside licking gum off the sidewalk right now. And if anybody deserves organic food in our house, this little girl, I'm not gonna waste it on her. It's for that dog that's wandered out in the highway because it doesn't know what cars are. But look, next time you guys go to Mount Juliet for vacation, let me tell you, look, do them a favor, go by there, all right? Swing through, buy some dog cakes. And I'll be honest with you, I'll be up front with you guys. I bought a dog bakery, it's not going that good, all right? We're almost done, so don't worry about it. And I think you can tell. I always think people they're like, he's talking about dog bakeries. He's about out of stuff. Yeah. Where is this going? Oh, me and my buddy, we rented a car. He's driving. On the way out there, I see a dead horse just laid out in this guy's yard. And I've never seen that before. And I was like, man, I bet you don't think about that when you buy a horse, it dying. What do you do? That's a huge thing, dying in your yard. You can't just shoot it off into the woods with your foot and try to get another one that matches before the kids come home. You have to tell your wife to keep the kids away for a month. You got to Google how to move a dead horse. You got to probably try to get another horse to help you do it, and that's not easy. That's what the blinders were invented for, because it's like, just look ahead. Don't worry about what's going on back. No, look. You got to get your friends to help you do it, and you can't spill the beans too quick on that. You think it's hard for them to help you move a couch? Try a dead horse. You gotta lie to them, like, we're getting a divorce. Just come over, bring your truck and some gloves. And when they get there, let me tell you, they're gonna see it, all right? Everybody saw it. It was next to the road. And they're gonna pull into that driveway and just be like, I don't think they're getting a divorce at all. I think we're here to move that dead horse is what I think. Let's let him bring it up, all right? Make him ask. But I'll be shocked if we don't touch that dead horse today. And if you ever have to move a dead horse, I've thought a lot about all this. You want to be the first one to the horse, all right? You don't want someone else to tell you where to grab a dead horse. So you run out there like you love it. Like you're like, this is what I hoped it was. And get to the hoofs in the front and be like, all right, I'm here. You guys decide where you guys want to be. One of my favorite ones was, this was forever ago. We're going to a friend's house. And it was a 4-flight walk up. And so 4 flights, obviously I walk faster than Nick. And I used to wait for him, but we've just been friends too long. I can't. We're like an old married couple. I'm just gone. So I knew where we were going, and I knew that he did not. So I leave him, and I go into my buddy's apartment. I was like, Nick doesn't know where you live. So that's fun, just see what happens. About 30 minutes go by. Nick finally comes into the apartment, and I asked him, I was like, where were you? He goes, I didn't know where to go. And I go, I know. So, you've been gone for a long time. Did you go back outside? He goes, I've been in someone else's apartment all this time. He went into someone's, he was just trying handles. And the door opened, he walked in, said, I'm with Nate, and went and sat on their couch. That's how far he made it. Think about where your couch is. That's how deep he made it into their place. And he's so confident, they had to be like, I don't know, maybe we know a Nate, I took a typing class in 7th grade. That's how... And I thought it was a waste of my time. In my head, I was like, who's going to be typing? Cursive is the future. That's why I like, there's the future. I don't know what's going on. I don't know technology. I don't know what AI is. I don't think you get to know what AI is and also see a donkey jump off a high dive. I think it was one or the other. And I saw the donkey, so I'm out. If I send an email and it says the file is too big, I don't know what to do. My best guess is I try to resend it. That's what I try to do. You know how dumb that is? The computer's like, no. And I go, what about now, though? One of the first things they had to do car manufacturers, before crash test dummies were invented, they would use a pig in a car wreck. So they'd sit a pig, I guess upright, and this little pigs are smart. Pretty good day for this pig. You gonna let me drive a car? Pretty good, pretty fun day. He's got his elbow out. Are y'all kidding me right now? You gonna let me drive this car? I don't even know what that shows you. Pigs don't have necks. That's what I was around when I was growing up. I mean, I look at my daughter and I have more in common with a pilgrim. And pilgrims believed in witches.
I'm excited to be here. I'm from Nashville, Tennessee. And couple, all right. Some people. And we were married, and me and my wife were in Nashville last summer, and we went out on the lake with some of our friends, and we were floating around in the water, and there was a guy in a boat, like right next to us, and my wife was like, oh, that's my ex-boyfriend in that boat. I didn't know who he was. She didn't have to say anything at all. She was just basically like, are you having fun? Because I would like to put a stop to that and make you stare at this guy the rest of the day. So I'm staring at him, and then I look at her, and she's staring at him. I feel like she's staring at him to see what her life would be like if she didn't marry me. So I started staring at him because I was like, I'm gonna see what my life would be like if I didn't marry her, you know? We were both putting so much pressure on this guy, and we have a daughter. We have a 3-year-old daughter, and we took her to Disney World, and I made the mistake of like telling my friends. They were just like, I don't know why you're taking her, you know, just wasting money. She's not gonna remember it. And it's like, it's exciting. Like she believes in Minnie Mouse. Like it's fun to see her get excited. Like, what should I do? Should I just put her in a closet and be like, do you remember yesterday? No? Well, until you start remembering things, I'm not gonna waste any of my money on you, you know? I live near Montreal. I've been here a few times. Last time I was here, had a bit of a too much of a good time. Is that how you should say it? I was staying here at the hotel, got super drunk, and locked myself out of my hotel room completely naked. And I remember getting all the way out, and then I hear the door shut, which is the most boring noise I've ever heard in my entire life. So I'm standing there, I'm like, what are you gonna do? And I was like on the 7th floor, and I was like, oh, window, I'll just jump out of that, you know? That's easier than talking to my wife about this. And I looked to the left, and there was a cleaning lady, and she's just staring at me. And I'm just like, what are you doing here? And you know why she's there? Because it's like 11 a.m. That's why she's there. That's how far in the day it was. And I looked at her just like, you know, what are you gonna do? Like, this happens to the best of us, right? And she was like, doesn't. It's never happened before. And I don't even have, I don't have like a body either that's like, you're welcome. You know what I mean? Like I did her a favor. I was like, come on, it's your lucky day, all right? Take it in. I do nothing to try to lose weight. I'm just kind of riding it out, seeing what, here's where we're at right now. What I've started doing, though, is I tell people to weigh 300 pounds because, yeah, I'm a pretty dumb guy. Just, I don't think it's pretty obvious. And it's, I think, I've thought about, like, time travel. Like, if I went back in time, knowing everything I know now, I don't think I would make a difference. I don't think you would even hear about it. If I went back to the 20s and I like saw some guy on like an old phone, I'd be like, hey, eventually they have phones you just carry in your pocket. And he'd be like, yeah, how do they do it? It's like, I mean, I don't know. I don't know they're doing it. It's like a satellite or something. And they'd be like, what's a satellite? Well, I shouldn't have even brought that up then. It's like a round metal dish or something.
That's got to go pretty high in the air. I honestly don't think I could prove I'm from the future. I mean, they would want some proof, you know? Who's the next president? Oh, boy. The dumbest I've ever been talked to, I like to golf. And so a guy was telling me there's a real golf course in North Carolina where they have llamas or the caddies. So if you don't know anything about golf, I mean, you know, a caddy usually carries your bag around, tells you how far you are from the hole, and helps you out. So this course, they have llamas. So you put your golf bag on a llama, and it carries your bag. So he told me that, and then he looks into my big, dumb eyes, and he goes, just so you know, llamas can't talk, though. I mean, that's the question he was trying to get ahead of as he looked into my stupid eyes. Like, he's like, I'm gonna say it so that guy doesn't have to say it. I'm just at the zoo talking to the giraffes, just, hey, where are you guys from, you know? I know where you're from, but where are you from? You know what I mean? What you have to do, you have to mail your birth certificate in. Some moms give their children their birth certificates. I've never received mine. I thought I was the proof of my birth. And you gotta mail it in. I've never been a big mailing in guy. I've mailed maybe 4 letters my entire life. I've never done it. Stamps make me nervous because I don't know how many you're supposed to put on. Where they're gonna be like, you should put 1 more on. And they changed the price of stamps. Not in the news, you know. You don't find that out on Twitter. You have to find out from old people. They're the only people that know. They keep up with it. They're like, stamps went up. You're like, okay. All right. Is it $100? Like, they're furious. They're like, is it $100 a stamp? It's 3 more pennies. It always, it shot down my dream because I wanted to play college basketball, and that didn't work out. It didn't work out because I got cut every year from my high school basketball team. So I had to play for my church because, yeah, the church can let you. They have to let you play, which is nice. That's a good, you know. I guess they could cut you. You'd be pretty bad if they're like, look, we think you're good, but Jesus does not think you're that good. Yeah, he is our captain, so. And church ball was a lot different, too, because it was a half court, no three-point line. We played on carpet. That's your first sign. It's not going to count. And they gave us a basketball. We didn't have a ball. We would just stand out there and play on honesty. So you'd be like, I just made it. It was like, oh, that's a good shot. You're really good. I stole it. I forgive you doing it. It was moral points. It counts. Animals have it the worst. They die terrible deaths. I heard a story. This kid, he had 2 goldfish. So he grabbed one of them, he squeezed it, it exploded. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I don't feel bad for that goldfish. You know, he died quickly. I feel bad for the other goldfish that just has to deal with that trauma now. You know how insane that would be? They're not gonna bite the other fish. He's killing them. He's got to. Imagine if you're locked in a room with someone and they just exploded. It would change your life forever. You're like, can I get someone else to talk to? They're like, no. You're like, what? I'm just gonna deal with this in my own head? This is the worst life ever. I've got to travel a lot, which is fun. I get to go to different countries, and I don't deserve to go. I don't know where these countries are at. I just go. I didn't learn about any of it. I learned about Tennessee. I learned about the states that touched us in case they attacked. And yeah, and I was told was Europe, and that's where all the gays live. So I didn't have a passport, you know? I was young. We're doing homework, too. Our daughter's starting to bring it all home. Homework, 1st and 2nd grade was awesome. 3rd grade, you're like, okay. They throw some stuff in, you're like, oh, all right. All right. It's, okay. Learning it earlier than we used to, huh? I don't even know if that's true, but. She brought home Common Core math. That's fun. It's a new math they invented. No heads up. Give it to parents that never learned it. It's just a whole new. It's unbelievable. Why when they bring it home, you got to watch a 40-minute YouTube video on Common Core math. I don't even understand it. If you know it, if you don't know Common Core, it's just a new math. And the goal of Common Core is to use one sheet of paper for every problem. You just want to keep breaking the problem down. You put the problem at the top, and it just keeps going. And then what's even funnier is you see old math in the middle of it. As you break it down, old math gets in there, and you're like, oh, do that at the top. I don't even know what we're doing. And it's not like old math isn't working. I mean, old math's doing, I don't get incorrect change everywhere just going, this stupid old math. It's a long way to get at the same answer. I told my wife, it feels like if you knocked on my front door and I opened it, and you said, can I come in? And I was like, do you mind walking in and coming in through the back door? And you'd be like, does the front door not work? I'm like, no, it works. I use it. A lot of people still use it. But the way is to go jump the fence and come in the back and meet me at this same spot. I was with a buddy, and we rented a car. He's driving. On the way out there, I see a dead horse. I mean, just laid out in someone's yard. And I've never seen that before. And I was like, man, I bet you don't think about that when you buy a horse. Like it dying. Like you don't fast forward that far. You know, that's a huge thing, dying in your yard. That's the weight of a horse. You know, I mean, you can't just scoot it off into the woods with your foot and be like, let's try to get another one before the kids come home. You have to tell your wife to keep the kids away for a month. You got to Google how to move a dead horse. You got to possibly get in the horse to help you do it, and that's not going to be easy. You know, I think that's what the blinders are for, because it's like, just look ahead. Don't worry about what's going on back here. Or you got to get your friends to help you do it, and you can't spill the beans too quick on that. You know, you think it's hard to get them to help you move a couch? Try a dead horse. I mean, you got to lie to them. You got to just be like, we're getting a divorce. We hate each other. Just come over. Bring your truck, though. And when they pull in there, let me tell you, they're going to see it. All right, everybody saw it. It was next to the road. So they're going to pull into that driveway and be like, man, I don't think they're getting a divorce at all. I think we're here to move that dead horse is what I think. And I say, let's let him bring it up, make him ask. But I will be shocked if we don't touch that dead horse today. And look, if you ever have to move a dead horse, I've clearly thought about it. And you want to be the first one to the horse. You don't want someone else to tell you where to grab a dead horse. So you just run out there like you love it, like it's the third one you've done that day, and get to the hoofs. Go ahead and start lifting and be like, you guys get where you guys got to get, some guys down there, and let's just get it over with. I mean, I think what I saw growing up, I mean, we would go watch, my dad's a magician. So we would go watch my dad do magic at the Wilson County Fair, which county fairs are great. If you've never, they're still going around. I don't think the government knows about them, but I mean, we ride these rides that were on the interstate an hour ago. Went to Australia as well. Australia is very far away. I'm gonna tell you, our Earth is bigger than I thought it was. We flew 16 hours, over 500 miles an hour. Barely made it, barely. I think we went the wrong way as well. And to make fun of my generation, just so it doesn't seem like I'm trying to skip over, another hotel I was at, another syrup incident, actually. I mean, I'm a big fan of waffles, so syrup, I'm around syrup quite a bit. And at a Holiday Inn Express, so the breakfast buffet there is where they have the cereal where you turn the knob and like 4 pieces fall out. It's like how you feed a cat for a long weekend, you know? You're like, that's enough. They had batter and syrup. And so they had the waffle iron where you make it yourself. So you pour the batter on the waffle iron, you shut it, you turn it over, it locks, it cooks minutes, you turn it over, you open it, half the waffle comes off, half stays forever. That's how you eat a waffle. So I'm with my buddy of mine that's my age. So we go through, he's not really talking or anything, just going through. He gets to it. It's batter and syrup. They're in containers. They're not labeled, but they're in clear containers. He gets the syrup and starts pouring it on the waffle iron. And I'm not even stopping him because he's not doing it where he's going, I've never done that. He's doing it where we're probably going to try it after. I mean, he's just like, we're like, dude, I can't wait to see what this guy's making. Like, he might know something that I don't know. He shuts it, turns it over, it cooks. He's like looking at us. We're like, I mean, the whole line's like, hey, what is that going to be? And it makes black smoke is what it makes. Just, I mean, dark black smoke. Just starts filling the lobby. The manager comes over. He's like, what are you doing? He's like, I guess I poured the wrong one. These are not labeled. And the guy's like, they're in clear containers. Do you not know the difference of batter and syrup? And he's like, I bet it happens all the time. He goes, I've worked here my whole life and I've never seen this. So they threw the waffle iron. They just throw it away. That's what they have to do. Just throw it away. It's over. And now there's no waffle. I mean, we went from all about to get a waffle to it's upside down in a trash can. And then he just turns and looks, and it's just a line of people, that little foam plate. And just everybody's sad. I just hear someone in the back go like, I set my alarm for this. I mean, two guys didn't have shoes on. They go, I ran down with no shoes in that elevator. I thought I was going to miss it. I first thank you. I can't thank you enough for coming out tonight. It means the world. And I've been making, this is how I've been closing shows on the road, and I want to close my special with it. I'm assuming that people saw the Netflix, the stand-ups, the little half hour. Thank you. Thank you for watching it. Thank you for coming out. So some stuff's happened since that special, and I want to give you some updates to a couple stories I told on that special. If you haven't seen it, I'll walk you through it. Don't, think you're going to be lost. And I think you've seen what I've talked about. I bet you're like, I bet we'll catch up quick. So the first update is about the Cape Fear Serpentarium. And if you haven't seen it, you could pause it right now and go watch it. But you might be like, I can't handle really much more of you. But if not, I'm gonna walk you through it, or maybe just a reminder. But a very quick, unfunny version is I went to Wilmington, North Carolina, to a guy's house, and he had a bunch of snakes, lizards, and a crocodile. And when I was there, a crocodile got out, and a lady wrote a TripAdvisor review about it. That's the very quick, unfunny version. If you haven't seen it, don't think that's all it takes to get a Netflix special. So the first thing is the lady that wrote the TripAdvisor review messaged me after the special came out. And you write a review on TripAdvisor, you can see how many people look at it, and it jumped 50,000 views the day the special came out. So, but she did not know this for a couple of days. So, I mean, she was like, I'm crushing it as a reviewer, all right? I swear. I'll bring your place. You better treat me right, Applebee's. I'll bring this whole place down. I went to a McDonald's drive-thru and my window did not roll down. That's the universe saying, give it a rest. And I fought through it. It's embarrassing because they can tell, because I had to pull, because I got to open my door. So it's going to hit the speaker, so I got to drive by it. So the car behind me is like, are you leaving? I'm like, my window don't roll down. And I got to open the door. Now the speaker's by the gas tank. So I got to yell my order out. Now that guy hears it. And then I look at McDonald's screen. Well, they got it all on the board. Just let the neighborhood know what I'm ordering. And then I drove by the window, the drive-thru window, and I got to go by it because I got to open my whole door. So I go by it, and I see them. They're like, where are you going? And I was like, nowhere. And I go by, and they see my whole body sitting in a chair. It's crazy. If you've never done it, it's the most vulnerable I've ever felt in my life. You're just sitting there and you're high. They see your feet. They see your feet. They just throw it at me like a bear. Just throw it. The dumbest I've ever been talked to, I like to golf. And so a guy was telling me there's a real golf course in North Carolina where they have llamas or the caddies. So if you don't know anything about golf, I mean, you know, a caddy usually carries your bag around, tells you how far you are from the hole, and helps you out. So this course, the llamas. So you put your golf bag on a llama, and it carries your bag. So he told me that, and then he looks into my big, dumb eyes, and he goes, just so you know, llamas can't talk, though. I mean, that's the question he was trying to get ahead of as he looked into my stupid eyes. Like, he just feels like, I'm going to say it so that guy doesn't have to say it. I'm just at the zoo talking to the giraffes, just, hey, where are you guys from, you know? I know where you're from, but where are you from? You know what I mean?
I live in Nashville, and I travel a lot of hotels. Every hotel I go in, I ask if they have a gym. Like, I'm like, you guys got a gym? I don't even have clothes to work out in. And it's just because other people are standing there, so I like to ask. I don't work out. I don't know if I have to say it. I'm lazy. I realized how I was watching a football game once, and I'm sitting on my couch, and I was gonna get something to drink out of the refrigerator. And right when I get up to go get something to drink, one team kicked off to the other team. Before I could get back, the guy ran a 100-yard kickoff return, and I missed it. That guy ran 100 yards before I could get 3 to maybe 4 yards. He also had 11 people really trying not to let him run 100 yards. I don't even have an ottoman. It was wide open. Couldn't make it. I did play sports growing up, though. I tried to play basketball for my school, but I got cut every year. So I had to play for my church, because the church cannot cut you. They have to let you play. Or maybe cut you, I don't know. You'd be pretty bad if they're like, look, we think you're good, but Jesus does not think you're that good. And he is our captain. I played baseball too. When I was 13, I was playing baseball, and one time I was up to bat, and I get walked. So I take my base, I get to first base, I turned around, and the catcher was still standing there, and he was holding the ball. He's like staring at me, like he was like daring me to run, like he was like, go, I bet you can't make it. And I was like, all right, man, I'm gonna go. So I just ran. When I ran, he threw it to second base. Ball goes in the outfield. So then I run to third base. The outfield grabs the ball. They overthrow third base. My third base telling me to go home. This is about to be an inside the park home run off a walk. I'm gonna be on SportsCenter. This is the biggest thing that's ever happened in baseball. I slide, there's a play at the plate, and that's when the umpire tells us that it was only ball 3. I swear. True story. So we all have to get up. I'm like dirty for no reason. I gotta go get my bat. It's right where I left it. I gotta bat again. It's 3 balls, 2 strikes. Next pitch, immediately out. I'm exhausted and over baseball. And I just looked at the ump and he was like, you can go now. I learned though that day, that if you're confident, you can get away with quite a bit. Because no one tried to stop me, and they should have, you know? They knew I wasn't supposed to go. That's why the catcher was holding the ball, because he was like, I don't supposed to be going yet, right? And then I just ran to second. He's like, I'm wrong. No one's that dumb, you know? And then he just launched to the outfield, who's barely paying attention. They think it's a hit, and the umpire figures it out. It's just easier to let me get all the way back to him, you know? Let me feel what it would feel like. You know what was great, too? No one ever told the parents. They never explained it. They were cheering. It's a pretty exciting play to watch. And then they just see me slide into home and then just stand up and bat again. They just are like, is that just a rule in baseball? I don't even know.
When I first moved to New York, I was there 3 months from Nashville, Tennessee. And I remember one night we would do comedy, then we'd always go eat at like a diner really late. And one night I'm sitting, I go to this diner, I'm sitting in the back, and this guy walks in with a CNI dog, but he's like pretending to be blind. Like he's not, like I'm really good at telling when people are fake blind. And I was like, this guy's not blind, you know? He walked in, he made a big announcement to it. He's like, hey, I'm blind, everybody, I'm blind. And then he started just knocking everything off everybody's table. Like, oh, I wish I could see what's going on, but I can't because I'm blind. And he had a CNI dog. He was leading the dog around the whole time. The dog never got in front of him. And I was like, it doesn't work like that, you know? Like, I don't think the dog builds confidence. And it's like, do some of these on your own. I just want to see, you know, if you get it. Like, so I'm watching all this happen. I'm getting pretty upset about it, you know, because I just moved to the north from the south, so I still cared about people. And I was like, I gotta do something, you know. And so they kick him out. So they kick him out, and they get us outside. And I go out there. I look. I was like, all right, let me go. In my Mayberry head, I think this is New York's biggest problem. And I go over to him. I was like, what's wrong with you, man? Like, why would you pretend to be blind? Like, how would you feel if you really were blind? And he was like, how would you feel if you were blind? I was like, what does that even mean? And then he sprayed me with mace. And he was so accurate. You know, it wasn't like, oh, I hope I get him. It was both eyeballs. The bridge of my nose wasn't even wet. That's how good he was. And when you're with mace, you can see for a second. And I remember, like, I was like sitting there, and I look up, and he runs across the street, and he gets hit by a cab. For real, it wasn't bad. Like the cab, like just kind of bumped in. I mean, it wasn't good, but it wasn't, you know. Like, he's fine. I think he's fine. He could see after. No, I don't know. But he falls into the sidewalk. But I remember, like, thinking, I was like, I saw that cab. Like, he definitely should have seen it, you know? So it was like, all right, I mean, odds are he's probably blind, you know? It's his first day or something. I don't know. Like, maybe he's going through a lot. And I should have just backed up. Everybody asked, too. They're like, oh, was it, they would want to know. They're like, would you get sprayed with pepper spray or mace? And it's like, I don't know what it was. What kind of life are you living if you could tell the difference? If I knew something, I don't know. Could have been hairspray. I don't know. What do you? It always it shot down my dream because I wanted to play college basketball, and that didn't work out. It didn't work out because I got cut every year from my high school basketball team. So I had to play for my church because, yeah, the church can let you. They have to let you play, which is nice. That's a good, you know. That would be, I guess they could cut you. You'd be pretty bad if they're like, look, we think you're good, but Jesus does not think you're that good. Yeah, he is our captain, so. And church ball was a lot different, too, because we played, it was a half court, no three-point line. We played on carpet. That's your first sign. It's not going to count. And they gave us a basketball. We didn't have a ball. Like, we would just stand out there and play on honesty. So you'd be like, I just made it. It was like, oh, that's a good shot. You're really good. I stole it. I forgive you doing it. It was moral points. It counts. I don't think things through. That's the message tonight, guys. There's no message. But if there was, it's I don't think things through. No. I'm a huge Vanderbilt fan, and I think a couple of us, you know, it's a storm is coming together. I did not go to Vanderbilt, too. Vanderbilt asked me to say that. And I was like, I think people know, and they go, we do too, but just say it also. Vanderbilt went to their first bowl game in football in like 20 years, in 2008. And so we all go to it. We're very excited. It's at Tennessee Titans Stadium. So me and a bunch of buddies get together. We go tailgate. We get cornhole, a grill. Like we're going all out. And my ticket was at will call. So I was like, look, I gotta go get my ticket. I'll be right back. So I go get my ticket. And before the lady gives it to me, she ripped it, which means you have to go in. And it was, a full 3 hours before the game starts. I was like, I don't want to go in yet, And she's like, you have to go. And I just walked in to just an empty stadium, 60,000 empty seats. I go to my seat. I don't even just go to a different, I went to like the one I'm supposed to go to, like a loser. The players are like in jeans. They're not even dressed yet. I was like, I'm real excited for the game. I like startled them. They're like, oh, I didn't even know anybody was in here. Did you go to Vandy? I was like, you would think with how early I'm here. But I also think if I went to Vandy, I wouldn't be in the situation that I'm in. I walked to the top of the stadium and just watched my friends I just sat up at the very top. And I was like, I'm already in, guys. Yeah, I decided to save our numbered seats. Nothing was open. I stood in front of a concession stand like I was waiting for an iPhone to come out. Just that gate was down. I'm just like already trying to figure out what I'm gonna eat. And they came and opened it, and one side got stuck, and I helped them. I go, I'll get that. So I helped them open it. They're like, oh, do you work here? I was like, I've been here a little bit longer than you have. So I'm 41 years old. And when I turned 40 was the first age I did not want to turn. I remember parents turning 40, it just feels old. And it's also the age that you do realize everybody you're talking to, you are older than. Before you're 40, I think everybody you talk to is your age. And the reason when you turn 40, you're just older than that person. I'll just be talking to them like, remember that? It's like 97, 98. They go, I wasn't born yet. You're like, golly, are you serious, dude? In my eyes, we look the same. Where's your dad at? Let me talk to him, because I swear I thought you were my age. We got very lucky with our neighbors. Our neighbors are super cool, and we're very close with them. They all have real jobs. They went to college and stuff. And one of them is a management consultant, so he manages all the consultants. And yeah, it's a tough job, all right? There's a lot of consultants, and he's like, you better get back, you just can't consult up in here. So he's busy. Our other neighbor's an actuary. I thought that was with birds. I was like, what's that bird right there? He goes, I don't know. And I was like, as an actuary, you don't know what that bird is right there? I've been doing these drive-in shows, these movie theater shows, and my buddy Nick Novicki's been with me, and Nick's a little person, very fun. We started comedy together. It's very fun to be friends with. He very easy to trick. We were once at a coffee shop, and I was sitting near us with a big husky dog, and Nick just goes, "Hey, you think that's a wolf?" And I just said, "Yeah, I do think it's a wolf." They just passed a law that if you can catch a wolf, you can have it as a pet. And he goes, should I go ask him about it? I was like, absolutely. He wants to talk about it. That's why he brought that wolf out here. And I watched him walk over to him and just go, excuse me, is that a wolf? And the guy, he didn't really know how to answer it. He said, what? You think I brought a wild wolf to this coffee shop? And the wolf's just being cool about it? It's not losing its mind right now? I've been doing these drive-in shows, these movie theater shows, and my buddy Nick Novicki's been with me, and Nick's a little person, very fun. We started comedy together. It's very fun to be friends with. He very easy to trick. We were once at a coffee shop, and I was sitting near us with a big husky dog, and Nick just goes, "Hey, you think that's a wolf?" And I just said, "Yeah, I do think it's a wolf." They just passed a law that if you can catch a wolf, you can have it as a pet. And he goes, "Should I go ask him about it?" I was like, "I mean, absolutely. You know, I mean, he wants to talk about it. That's why he brought that wolf out here." And I watched him walk over to him and just go, "Excuse me, is that a wolf?" And the guy, I mean, he didn't really know how to answer it. He said, "What? I mean, you think I brought a wild wolf to this coffee shop?" And the wolf's just being cool about it? It's not losing its mind right now? I think it's because I'm peeing so much longer, and I'm not used to this new old rhythm yet. Because in your 40s, there's a lot of false stops. You learn pretty quick to be like, let's hang back, let's let traffic thin out a little bit. I watch young people come and go. I'm like, tell my family I'm okay. I had a hard time in school. When I barely graduated, got into a community college, barely got into a college they have to let everybody in.